There are many deities and spirits throughout Greek mythology that have some kind of tie or association to death and the underworld. In today's video we'll be taking a look at a group of female spirits that were often tied to violent and cruel death, including murder, ravaging disease and death in battle. These spirits were another one of the many children of Nyx, and they were referred to as the Keres, or the Keres as it's pronounced in Greek. They would often be seen as the opposite to their brother Thanatos, a spirit or god that we more commonly associate with non-violent death, and it was fairly common for the Keres to be regarded as the agents of the Mire, or the Morai, the goddesses of fate, who would measure the length of someone's life when they entered the world. When that time had come to an end, they would notify the Keres, who would make sure that that individual's life would come to an end when expected. Because of their violent nature, they were often associated with the Moros, or the Moros, a group of female spirits that would often drive men insane and towards their inevitable destruction. Unlike Thanatos, who was thought to merely bring death, the Keres were seen as craving blood, feasting upon the bodies of those they killed before sending them to the underworld. They were thought to be so numerous that thousands would haunt the battlefields, in the same way that vultures and other carrion birds would fight amongst each other over the dying. They were believed to have no direct power over who died or when they died, but their hunger for blood often meant that they would ignore these boundaries, even killing those who fate had dictated were not ready to die. It's believed that only the gods had the power to stop the Keres, and they were amongst the favourites of Zeus, who would often send them to bring death to particular individuals quicker than fate had planned. Their physical appearance does vary, with some thought to be nothing more than the personification of disease and plague. Other times they were depicted as fanged and taloned women, dressed in bloody garments that somewhat resemble the Erinyes or bloodthirsty harpies. There are some that believed when Pandora's jar was opened, the evil spirits released upon mankind were in fact the Keres. Hesiod himself refers to the personified version of the Keres, the Nossos, the bringers of plague, sickness and disease. In later mentions of Greek mythology, it's thought that the Keres could be invoked by incantations, and they were described as the hounds of Hades, pouncing upon living men, feeding on their souls. Throughout Greek mythology there is this recurring theme of vengeful spirits and goddesses, and the Keres do give us an interesting variation. They somewhat resemble the Erinyes in that they are both ancient beings that once did the biddings of the gods, but the Keres are more so associated with death, and the Erinyes were thought to bring justice and punishment. As always, I'd like to know what you guys think. Do you think they appeared as vengeful women with an appetite for blood that could not be satisfied? Or perhaps you think they represented rampant disease that spread without care for the lives that it claimed? Let me know in the comments below.